Hello and welcome to This Guy Edits, where you get to see this guy edit.
Scene 12, take 1, soft sticks.
Today I'm going to talk a little bit about the relationship between the director and the editor.
Action.
As you might know from earlier episodes, I'm currently cutting a feature directed by Mark Webber. He just finished shooting it in Pennsylvania, and I'm now here in Los Angeles doing the first cut. And this is actually going to be a two-parter because next week I was able to get Mark on board to come on, and I'm going to ask him a couple of questions how he feels as a director about the editor's-director's relationship. How much creative control can an editor really dare to take on a movie? And it all depends on the director, really, because the director is the storyteller. It's his vision. It really depends on how trusting a director is or what his process is to find the film in editing. I was very fortunate that early on I worked with one of the greatest directors there is, James Cameron.
Just come up over and light all this business down in here.
I was very lucky to move up directly from film school as an assistant editor, eventually as an editor on a project of his. I immediately was thrown into a situation where there was a really strong filmmaker with a strong vision. And to have a director like Cameron allow a young kid like me to just play and present ideas was an incredible learning experience early on in my career because it really encouraged me to take risks and chances.
I couldn't sleep.
On this particular project, I am especially grateful because Mark is a director who's extremely open and he's willing to go along on almost any crazy journey to consider it, and then eventually he will put his stamp on it. I get to do the rough cut basically on my own. We do check in with each other once a week, but he rarely says anything else but this is great. He really withholds any specific notes until this part of the process is done. In a way, he's a listener to the story, and I'm pitching the story to him. And then once that editor's cut is completed, that relationship will shift, and I will become the listener and he will become the storyteller. By that time, he's developed some form of game plan that he goes into, and then as we do the polishing of the cut, as we refine things, as we explore different ideas, he now has two choices. He has the movie that's in his head, and he has the movie that I've given him in the rough cut. And he can really cherry pick the best of both. So I wanted to show you this scene. It's scene number 12. Basically, this is the first day that they spent together. Mark's been in prison. You've seen in an early episode they had pizza together. They talked, they connected in a way. And this is now at the end of the day where Mark brings his brother to bed and he tells him that he loves him. And the way it was shot, Guillermo says, "I love you back."
Action. And today, hanging out with you and being here with you right now at home feels like one of those dreams. So thank you. I love you, man.
I love you too.
All right. Sleep well.
The relationship between Mark and his brother is more loving at the beginning than I personally felt it should be, because Mark has been in prison for a long time and he hasn't really had a connection with his little brother. I felt like that needs to be reflected at the beginning of the story, that they have a disconnect. And here's the way that I actually cut it.
And sometimes if I was lucky, I'd have some really good dreams. I love you. Good night. I'll be right here in the morning.
So as you can tell, I cut out the "I love you" from Guillermo, and instead I cut back and forth between them where they stare each other down, and Mark could be a little sad that he doesn't get his love returned in a way. And it makes for more tension. He needs to earn his love a little bit more. That's what I felt. That's the scene that I'm going to pitch to Mark and see if he feels the same way. Ultimately, it is going to be up to Mark to decide whether he wants to really make that relationship as disconnected. And we only really know if it's going to work out once I've cut the entire movie to see if that arc is going to feel completed. Look out for an upcoming episode in a week or so where Mark and I are going to talk about the director's-editor's relationship. And I'm going to ask him what some of his anxieties are when he has to see somebody else mess with his story. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you on the next one. Good day. Take care. Don't leave me hanging.